Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/ProRevenge. In today's episode, watch out! There is always a bigger fish in the pond. Don't take advantage of me. With apologies to anyone who sows. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Watch out! There is always a bigger fish in the pond. I always worked at night shifts, I don't care if it's minimum wage or not. If I have fun at work and have my night shifts, everything is fine. So I ended up as security guard. Payment is okay-ish. Just get paid for breathing air and farting into the chair sounds fair enough, huh? Small hint, don't do this at the same time or you will gag. I worked as some sort of supervisor. Night shift manager. Whatever. Man in the middle that coordinates security, cleaning, maintenance, gardeners, and so on. So that everything runs smoothly in the background. My workplace is to sit in a 60 square meter room at my desk. Room itself was packed to the brim with shelves, tool racks, a workbench with a small lathe, lockers, and was used as break room for the staff. Smoking area as well. The smell was a mix between nicotine, sweat, oil, coffee, food, and dead possum. 30 m below the surface, second underground level. Next to a nuclear bunker for the staff from the 70s. The building itself belonged once to the Gov, but was sold to a private company. Security systems were wow. Access with keycards, automatic doors, color cameras, and real fancy stuff. My desk and computer was the brain, the living heart for that building. I could do everything just with one mouse click. Lock a door? Click. Turn on lights? Click. Check my cameras? Zoom and rotate? Click. Floors 1 to 6 were rented out to private companies and free for public. You would enter the building, greet our security staff and just tell them where you wanted to go. The girls and guys would show you the way to the elevators and everything's fine. But not for the floors 7 to 14. That was restricted. You would need a special visitor's pass, fill out some forms including your ID. Security at the front desk would grab the telephone, ask if everything was okay, and the visitor could be sent up. Then they would call me so I would reserve one of the elevators for a special ride. Operating the elevator from my computer. Set to express mode, no other stops possible. Buttons disabled. One coworker would escort you to the elevator and make sure that only the visitor enters the elevator. I would further then keep an eye on the visitor and open all hallway doors, so he could freely arrive at the destination. Day shift was a bit more complicated, but if you were into the system it would be really easy. My shift goes normally from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. 12h normal, 20 days per month. Full maintenance crew starts at 7 a.m. Normally we have a little bit of rush hour when all the employees enter at 7:30, but they have their key cards. Other thing are the deliveries. For the canteen, UPS, FedEx, and you name it. Posting packages for the rented floors were uncomplicated. Just go up and good luck finding someone. Your prob. Some companies wanted to be part of our internal mail system, some others don't. Internal mail office was at floor 9. That means, pass. Fill out the forms, wait for approval, get escorted to the elevator, and so on. Everyone understood the rules except for this Spikal guy. Early 20s student, a brat with a stick in his ass. The thinks he is entitled, and we have to bow right in front of his highness. Rude douchebag, made a huge fuss every morning. We should know him, let him pass, all costs his time. Yada yada. He parked his van literally everywhere. He was blocking entrances, driveway and parking spots. He even blocked our big kahunas, the almighty big boss from the building, parking lot. And who got the shitstorm? Me, because I was the security rat in charge. Yikes. Was my first time ever seeing great number 1 in person. And my ass got hooped. One of my coworkers was a cute little girl. In the early 30s. Low self-esteem. The typical wallflower, shy but a very kind heart. The typical, how can I help you? Girl. She always tries to help others out or find a specific solution. She was the perfect lady for customer care. And douche literally ripped her tiny lovely soul apart one morning. It needed 2 of our maintenance guys and the other desk person to separate him from the girl. She came down to my office totally devastated and crying. She wanted to quit her job immediately. Man, he really had broken her into half. I tried to calm her down, grabbed her a fresh coffee. Then I called another guy from the parole duty to take her shift at the desk. Just one in the lobby isn't enough. The girl and I had a serious talk. I promised to put her on a different shift, so she would not meet him in the morning. She agreed. Damn, she was the power horse for the front desk. Especially for rush hours. I informed our manager about that guy and got just a shrug. You are security, you should handle this by yourself. Wow. Really? Thanks for the backup, you lazy paper pusher. Good to know we can count on you. Not. I told little lady she could take the rest of the shift off and send her home. Later the 2 maintenance guys came for a coffee break. They were still upset and fuming about douche, and he told me all the nasty things the guy said to her. Both were in rage about this guy. One of the quotes they heard was that this dousebag would follow my coworker home and rape her when her shift was over. So she would learn how to serve real men. Wow. I was shocked. I started to question the other maintenance guys and facility personnel about this guy. And hell yeah, nearly everyone had problems with him. He even get caught pissing outside a side entrance or spitting on the floor. My shift was over and I didn't told my day shift about that. That was something personal. I remembered clearly my manager, we security should handle this alone. Next night I spent most of my time digging through old cam footage just to prove that pissing, littering, and if all the stuff was true. For sure it was. It's not that I didn't live them, or they would lie to me, but maybe they just exaggerated the stories a bit. Nope, I even caught him on cam tagging one of the walls with a marker. Weekend was coming and I informed the maintenance guy that I need elevator 3 on Monday for a special task, and it would not be available from 7 to 10 a.m. I then scheduled some routine work at the security system so no logs or cam recordings could be made. Maintenance guy wasn't happy at first because this would mean some trouble with our daily business. He asked if it could be done in the late afternoon when most offices were closed and everything was quiet. I told him nope, that's not the time when douchebag would arrive. Maintenance guy's face turned into the biggest smile ever. You bloody bastard, you filthy son of a b. You want to trap this guy? Then he laughs out loud. I gave the best incessant look. I think we might have a failure with number 3 early on Monday. Then maintenance guy went from funny to dead serious, promised me that we get his ass too. Great. Maintenance crew was fully in. I told my day shift coworker that I have a doctor's appointment and would stay 2 longer on Monday. It would be very comfortable to stay longer, so I don't need to go back home and go straight to the doctor right after my shift. Mr. Day Shift was happy. Monday. Douchebag parked right in front of the main entrance. That's a no loading and no parking zone. He went to the counter and made the same fuss. Cussing, swearing, and all the animal behavior. Front desk informs me and I send elevator 3 to the lobby. Everything went fine, as usual. He went into the cabin and the elevator went up. Then, when the cabin was around floor 8, my hand was on the mouse, and I made a single click. Elevator shaft 3 was cut from the main power. It stopped immediately. Normal lights went off and emergency lighting went on. Douche was frightened. He pressed the alarm button. Once, twice, 3 times like it was a button masher for console. Nothing, no alarm bell, no call. The intercom stayed silent for him. He then pressed all the buttons, like a secretary typing memos. Click cam elevator 3 in lodge. I took a sip from my coffee mug and enjoyed my little pet. Now he thinks he is clever, turns out his mobile and tries to ring someone. Oh, you little piece of shit. You can't get a signal or call anyone in this elevator. Shaft number 3 was special. It is used and designed as special rescue elevator for emergency services and can withstand a huge building fire. Maybe an atomic blast. Reinforced concrete. Part of the main support structure that holds the entire building. Good luck getting a signal in this conceit sarcophagus. I took my phone and called maintenance guy. He instantly asked if I got him. My only answer was yes. Took a few minutes and my office filled up with 8 facility workers. They all wanted to enjoy the show. Starting in a circus narrator / wrestling commentator's voice. Me, ladies and gentlemen. I would present you the rape lion. Big laugh from everyone. Me, he is very dangerous and wanted to rape one of my coworkers. Pissing and spitting in every corner he can find to mark his territory. This wall painting animal is now locked in a cage. The crowd cheers. I even wanted to laugh out loud, but I keep serious and formal like every circus manager would do. Me, now, my fellow audience. Would we rally him a bit more? Please stay silent and do not laugh or make any noise. It could distract our beloved animal and ruin the show. Everyone was giggling. I put a finger on my lips to calm them down, grabbed the phone and ring the elevator intercom. Then I switched to an impassive, unsympathetic voice. Excuse me, sir? Did you press the alarm button? He starts to freak out. That he is trapped for hours. Was not even 10 minutes by the time. I informed him in a monotonous voice that we have some issues. Wouldn't be so long. 5 to 10 minutes, maintenance is on its way to rescue him. I spoke clearly out that his life is not in danger. Was true, but I said this with a very uncomfortable undertone. Then I hung up. This makes douche sweating bullets. He bangs on the doors, presses all the buttons. He even tried to open the doors by hand. Then I turned around, see all guys laughing. Literally pissing in their pants. 3-5 minutes later, I looked at the audience and asked. Me, should I finish him? Maintenance crew cheers, do it. I grabbed the phone and ring the intercom a second time. Me, sir? Douche angry, scared, and he looks claustrophobic. Let me out. Why does it take so long? I want out, you stupid rants, insults, racist slurs. Me very serious and demanding, sir. Stop it now. We have a situation and I need some information from you. Douche calms down, shot like a deer in a headlight, and got very scared. He stutters. What? Sir. Touch the walls of the cabin. Are they a bit warm? He touches all 4 walls. Douche very confused by now. Yes, they are warm. A bit. I hold the phone away from my ear at the length of my arm and start shouting. Martin? Martin! Martin! Shaft 3 is burning as well. The fire spreads quickly. One person in the cabin. And smashed the phone back with a loud bang. Douse was rotting in the cabin. He feared for his life. He even pissed himself. I turned back to the guys. Get ready, I will get him down immediately. Expressway to hell. Maintenance guys grabbed some tools, I switched the main power back online and got douche down to the basement. The suddenly moving elevator scared the last bit out of this guy. He believed that his shitty life is over, and he must be dying. I grabbed my black gloves, took my flashlight with me. Running to catch up when the elevator reaches our level. I was there, just in time. 2 to 3 seconds later, and I would have missed it. Doors opened and he was welcomed by us. He was so confused, he had pissed all over his pants and the cabin floor. He instantly jumped out of the cabin right into my arms. Totally overstrained from what has happened. I pushed him away towards the wall and slapped him right in the face, flat hand, no real force, just a attention slap. To calm him down and focus him on the dialogue. I spoke with the deepest terrifying voice I could get. You threatened one of my female co-workers? Wanted to rape her. 8 maintenance workers with hammers, wrenches right behind me. Looking as brutal as possible. I point the shaft of my mag light straight in his face. ready to beat the shit out of him if he makes a wrong move. Strange accidents could happen every time. A slip from the stairs, you accidentally break your neck. Faulty elevator doors and you fell into the shaft, unhealthy accidents with the garbage press and all nasty stuff. Look, sunshine, we have enough of your bad attitude. This is your last friendly warning. If we ever see your ugly face again, shit gets nasty. I reach my hand out to him. Now be a good boy, give me the documents you want to deliver, and leave the building immediately. He was stunned, couldn't realize the situation. He didn't say a word. Just sobbing and crying, somehow glad he was alive. He slipped from the wall to the ground like a wet towel, and had a complete mental breakdown. We gave him a very friendly reminder that this happened only in his dreams, and what happens in the basement stays in the basement. If he ever file a complaint or something official, we knew his full name, his private address, and then shit would really hit the fan. We explained to him that we have our connections, and if we would ever hear a word about a loudmouth delivery guy, we would not so nice again. We escorted him to the bathroom, so he could clean himself up a bit. At least dry his pissed pants with some paper towels. He promised us that he wouldn't do it again. He begged us to let him go. Maybe he thought we would drown him in the toilet? Toilet waterboarding, HM. Sounds fun. I like that idea. But nah, he was defeated, he was done. His attitude was broken, and he learned his lesson. Then he was escorted out to a side entrance back to his van. Later, one of the guys who escorted him out said that he got a nice juicy parking ticket as well. Double strike for the facility team. He came back the next day, heads down, tail between his legs. I asked the desk if there was any problem. Desk said that he acted strange. Coworkers at the desk thought he would make trouble like every day, but he was very polite and absolutely friendly. I would say, mission accomplished. The next few weeks were normal, then a new delivery guy showed up. Never asked what happened, but the new guy was cool from the first day. Only downer of this incident was the massive paperwork for all of the missing security logs. Missing camera footage, and I got a formal warning from the managers that I should never schedule maintenance work for security equipment in the morning hours again. My manager told me that we need the security equipment especially during rush hours. He stopped his monologue and dismissed me. I was on my way out, wanted to shut his door. He then threw a sentence in my back with a laughing undertone: "We don't want any tragic accidents." As I closed his door, I heard him laughing sarcastically. He knew what happened. Little lady quit a few months after this incident. We never told her what really happened, but she couldn't handle the stress that this douche has caused to her. She now works as a shop assistant in a woman's clothing store. Me? Something changed as well. I got a new nickname, Lift Boy. It spread faster than a wildfire. Most don't know the real story and many laugh about this. But the core staff would say this with some kind of respect. Few years later, the building got sold again, new hiring contracts were made, but it was time to go on in live. Found a new job together with two of the maintenance guys. I work now in a workshop, produce spare parts on CNC lathes and milling machines. You guess it, night shift as well. We are still best friends today, and they still call me Lift Boy. Me. P.S. Yeah, I knew that I crossed the line. 10/10 would do again. Why? Just ask yourself what you would do if someone threatens your girlfriend, daughter, sister, wife, etc. He made a girl cry and quit her job because he thought he was entitled to non-existing privileges. It was not a one-time oopsie, I had a bad day thing. He was just a brat with a shitty attitude. Sure, we could just beat him up, call the police or something like this. Thanks for reading and have a nice day. Don't take advantage of me. Warning, mention of S hashtag L assault and murder. I'm not sure this will fit as nuclear revenge, as I didn't carry out the revenge itself. I decided not to post this on my main account to keep anonymity. I lived with a friend in an apartment within a semi-small town. It wasn't a small town, but everyone had to know everybody's business. I thought she was a good friend, but I was wrong. One night my friend, her boyfriend, my boyfriend and myself all went out to our local club. We had a fun night hanging out. When my boyfriend and I decided to leave, my friend and her BF wanted to stay out longer. After my boyfriend dropped me home, he wasn't drinking. I went into my room, closed the door, and went to sleep. I was promptly woken up by someone's #L assaulting me. It was too dark to see who it was. I yelled at the man, "What are you doing?" He tried to hide. I promptly got up and turned on the light, then screamed at him to get out, and he ran out. I tried knocking on my neighbor's door. They had been drinking and not coherent, rang BF and police. I moved out of the apartment within days as I didn't feel safe. I told my friend what happened and why I had to move out suddenly. My boyfriend helped me every step of the way. Without him, I would have been a mess, lol. What I didn't expect was the lack of support from my friend, and she whinged about me moving out to people we knew. People in town had heard about my assault, and I was told my friend had let this man into our apartment, didn't advise me about it, and went to her boyfriend's place. Not only did I feel violated and unsafe, I felt betrayed. Before the court case was to occur, the policeman in charge of the case told me that the man killed himself. He had left a note to a girl with the same last name as mine, which I thought was bizarre and weirdly coincidental. During this time my friend left town. People I knew had been furious about what she had done and run her out of town. The nuclear part. A friend confided in me that the guy who assaulted me was murdered. They made it look like a suicide. He told me the local bikie gang had heard about my assault. They had been angry as allegedly he had previously assaulted a minor girl who had been a sister to one of the gang members. He wasn't charged with assaulting the minor girl, sadly. I kept asking this friend to clarify if it was the truth, because I couldn't believe it was true. He told me continuously this was the truth. To this day, it still shocks me. This occurred many years ago, and have been through therapy for it all. I have forgiven my friend. Not for her but for me. With apologies to anyone who sows. I was raised by my abusive grandparents. My grandfather isn't worth mentioning, and my grandmother died when I was 15. She had an aneurysm while on the toilet, dying with the same grace she had while alive. I'm in my mid-30s now, and I don't often think of her, but I do keep one small petty habit. Grandmother was a seamstress, and her most prized possession was a pair of super sharp, fancy expensive dressmaking shears. I once used them to cut paper, and she made me sleep on the porch for a week. For those who have said this seems like a random punishment, she was abusive. If I was going to be an animal, then I should be treated like one and sleep outside. It wasn't about the scissors, it was about me existing in her line of sight when she wanted to lash out. When she died, one of the few things I asked for were those scissors. I have used them to cut everything but fabric for the last 2 decades. I ruin them in the kitchen, for crafts, for projects around the house. The other day I used them as a hammer when I was too lazy to grab the toolbox. It's stupid and petty, but nothing beats the tiny spark of malicious glee that I feel every time I use those fucking scissors to cut duct tape and then pry open a paint can. Here's to you, Nana. I hope you went to heaven, because I know there's nothing you hated more than the happiness of others. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.